Moving right along to file item 89. Senator Hill. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1175 by Assemblymember Ridley Thomas, an act relating to consumer affairs.
Senator Hill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I am pleased to present AB 1175, which would provide fiscal certainty to the Bureau of Electronic and Appliance Repair, Home Furnishings, and Thermal Insulation by raising the statutory ceiling for licensing fees. The Bureau's fees are currently at the ceiling for the majority of licenses. Since the last fee increase in 1997, operational costs have increased in all areas, and the Bureau's budget is facing numerous operational challenges. If the Bureau were allowed to enter into a deficit, the result would be reduced services, slower response time to consumer complaints, delayed time frames for licensure and renewals, and decreased disciplinary actions. To avoid potential harm to consumer safety, we need to give the Bureau the ability to react to future financial needs by raising the maximum fee ceiling. I respectfully ask for aye vote, members.
Members, a better discussion on this item. Seeing, hearing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Bates. No. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Block. Aye. Cannella. Aye. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. Gaines. No. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Aye. Huff. No. Jackson. Aye. Lara. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Monning. Aye. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. No. Nielsen. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Stone. No. Vidak. No. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk.
Call the absent members.
Anderson. Berryhill. No. Fuller. Glazer. Aye. Mitchell. Nielsen. Runner. No. Wolk. Wolk aye. Cannella, Ida no. Nielsen no.
Ayes 25, noes 12. The measure passes. Moving on to file item 90. Senator Glazer. Senator Glazer, are you prepared to take up this item? Pass on file. File item 94. Senator Leyva. Pass on file. File item 101. Senator Bell. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 279 by Assemblymember Dodd, an act relating to taxation.
Senator Bell.
Mr. President and members, this bill, AB 279, is a modest and logical extension of an information sharing program which has been immense use to cities and which the legislature has reauthorized on three different occasions. The bill simply extends the voluntary program to counties. It generates significant revenues by expediting the county's collection of back taxes through the Franchise Tax Board. The Franchise Tax Board estimates that passage of the bill will result in over $1.3 million in revenue for the next 3 years. Please vote aye on this measure. Thank you.
Members, a better discussion on this item. The better discussion. Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Cannella. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. Gaines. Galgiani. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Hueso. Aye. Aye. Hill aye. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Aye. Lara. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. No. Wynn. No. Nielsen. No. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Stone. Aye. Vidak. Aye. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Call the absent members.
Anderson. Canella. Aye. Fuller. No. Gaines. No. Galgiani. Aye. Runner. No. Mr.
Ayes 33, no 6. The measure passes. Moving to file item 104, Senator Block. Pass on file. File item 110, Senator Leyva. Pass on file. File item 121, Senator Anderson, not at his desk. File item 125, Senator Gaines. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 223 by Assemblymember Dali, an act relating to highways.
Senator Gaines.
Great. Thank you, Mr. President and members. Today I'm presenting AB 223 by Assemblyman Dali on behalf of the town of Truckee and many small businesses from the area. AB 223 will restore freeway logo signs to Interstate 80 that were taken down several years ago when Highway 267 bypass was completed. Logo signs help travelers find clean and safe services and greatly benefit local merchants. This bill has passed unanimously so far and has no opposition, and I would respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Members, debate or discussion on this item? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there objection to using our unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, no 0, the measure passes. Moving to file item 129, Senator Jackson. Pass. File item 133, Senator Glazer. Senator Glazer, 133. Pass on file. File item 134, Senator Bell. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 604 by Assemblymember Olson, an act relating to vehicles.
Senator Bell.
It's my pleasure to present AB 604, which will modernize antiquated laws regarding motorized skateboards. The legislation has been carefully crafted over the past 2 years, and several amendments have been made to ensure the safety of riders and to ensure the communities have flexibility to regulate the boards to meet their needs. And current law now provides the use of electric motorized skateboards under the 1970s laws really designed to target skateboards with loud and bulky gas motors. And since then, we have technology and it has improved and changed the design and safety of these skateboards. The new electric-powered motor is a silent, has zero emissions, fun, safe, easy to ride, helping commuters close the last mile between work and the bus stop or train stop and home. AB 604 removes the prohibition of electric motorized skateboards and allows local governments to regulate them as they see appropriate. Thank you, and environmentally conscious and safe. A safe product that is assembled and designed in our state it should be used to be here, and I request an aye vote on this measure. Thank you.
Members, debate or discussion on this item? Debate or discussion? Hearing none, is there objection to using our unanimous roll call? There is objection. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Anderson. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Weso. Aye. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Lada.
Aye.
Aye. Leno. Aye. Leyva. Aye. Liu. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Morlock. Morrell. Wynn. Aye. Nielsen. Aye. Pan. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. No. Vidak. Aye. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Call the absent members.
Allen. Anderson. Block. Aye. Hall. I. Jackson. Liu. Monning. Morlock. I. Morrell. Pan.
Ayes 32, noes 1, the measure passes. Moving to file item 135, members. Senator McGuire. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 607 by Assemblymember Dodd, enacting to real estate brokers.
Senator McGuire.
Good morning, Mr. President and colleagues. I rise today to present Assembly Bill 607 on behalf of Assemblyman Bill Dodd. This bill will allow real estate broker trust accounts to operate more efficiently and better protect the public. Under current law, real estate brokers can use employees that don't have real estate licenses, like CPAs or professional bookkeepers, to manage their broker trust accounts, so long as the broker maintains a fidelity bond to cover the account. State statute is silent on these bonds, but the Bureau of Real Estate Regulations have been interpreted to require a zero-deductible fidelity bond. Unfortunately, zero-deductible bonds in amounts sufficient to cover these trust accounts simply aren't available. Consumers can't achieve that. Accordingly, the zero-deductible requirement hinders the public interest, since CPAs and other trusted financial professionals are ideally suited to manage these accounts. AB 607 codifies existing Bureau of Real Estate regulations and fixes the problem of bond availability by clarifying that the bonds required for unlicensed employees can have a deductible of up to 5%. Lastly, to ensure the public is well protected, this bill requires brokers to have evidence of financial responsibility sufficient to protect against any loss subject to the deductible. Mr. President, this bill passed with bipartisan support on the Assembly floor with a 77-0 vote. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Members, debate or discussion on this item? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there objection to using our unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, no 0, the measure passes. Moving to file item 139. Senator Hertzberg. Prepared to take up this item? Senator Hertzberg, are you prepared to pass on file? File item 154, members. Senator Jackson. Pass on file. File item 155, pass on file. File item 156, Senator Hertzberg. Senator Hertzberg, pass on file. File item 157, Senator Hancock. Pass on file. File item 158, Senator Mitchell. Pass on file. Members, we're going to move to the consent calendar. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 728, 283, 1403, 553, 592, 625, 1004, 1284, 1527, AB 1537, and Assembly Concurrent Resolution 8.
Thank you. Secretary, please call the roll on the consent calendar.
Allen. I. Anderson. Bates. I. Bell. Berryhill. I. Block. I. Canella. I. De Leon. I. Fuller. I. Gaines. I. Galgioni. I. Glazer. I. Hall. I. Hancock. I. Hernandez. I. Hertzberg. I. Hill. I. Weso. I. Huff. I. Jackson. I. Lada. I. Leno. I. Leva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. I. Mitchell. Monning. I. Morlock. I. Morrell. I. Wynn. I. Nielsen. I. Pan. I. Pavley. Roth. I. Runner. I. Stone. I. Vidak. I. Wachowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Call the absent members.
Anderson. Bell. I. Mitchell. Pavley. Pavley, aye. Mitchell, aye.
Ayes 39, no 0. The consent calendar is approved. Members, we are going to move to governor's appointments. That's file item 31. Senator De Leon.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Colleagues, file item number 31, appointment from the governor, Mr. Eric R. Banks. This is a member of the Public Employment Relations Board. His appointment was heard in the Rules Committee on June 24th. He passed with no opposition on a 4-0 vote. This is a reappointment to PERB, and he will continue fulfilling his commitment to decreasing the process times and minimize the current backlogs that exists with that, Mr. President, as well as colleagues. Respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Members, debate or discussion on this item? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Bates. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. Gaines. No. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Whistle. Aye. Huff. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Morrell. No. Wynn. Nilsson. No. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Stone. No. Vidak. No. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk.
Call the absent members, please.
Hernandez, aye. Anderson. Bates. Berryhill. Fuller. Huff. Morlock. No. Wynn. Runner. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Ayes 27, no 6. The appointment is confirmed in. Members, we're going to briefly move to motions and resolutions and notices. Without objection, Joint Rule 62A will be suspended for the purpose of allowing AB 113 to be heard in the Committee on Budget and Fiscal Review without 4 days' notice in the daily file. Members, we are moving to we're going to return to motions and resolutions. For adjourned memories, we have Senator Allen.
Members, on July 4th, many of us were in our districts celebrating the holiday and enjoying that wonderful celebration of freedom. On that very same day, a real icon, a leader, a friend, a mentor of mine in Santa Monica passed away. His name was Judge David Finkel. He was a veteran civil rights attorney and a former Santa Monica City Council member, also a former member of the Santa Monica College Board of Trustees. His career included 6 decades of battles for civil rights, freedom of speech, affordable housing, educational equality. And he died at the age of 83 following a prolonged illness. He transitioned peacefully in the company of family while fireworks lit up the night sky. David Finkel was the son of Jewish immigrants who suffered persecution in Europe. He was a lifelong advocate for social justice, elected to the LA County Superior Court in 1984 and later to the College Board of Trustees. His work as a lawyer included advocacy during Freedom Summer in Mississippi in the 1960s and defense of conscientious objectors during the Vietnam War. His values were shaped by his immigrant parents, the hardships of the Great Depression, the rise of fascism during World War II. As a young man, his thoughts and actions emerged in response to McCarthyism and were inspired by the momentum of the civil rights, anti-war, and women's movements. The thing about David, he was a really humble man who consistently found himself in the center of controversy. His biography is sort of a Forrest Gump history of civil rights and social justice movements in the United States. Much later in his life, he served on the Santa Monica City Council, and there was just a wonderful quote from one of his colleagues here who said that he had a deep appreciation for the arc and art of democracy, which gave him both patience and a serene perseverance. He had an honest regard for political friend and adversary alike, and a unique combination of intellect and gravitas that ensured that he would always be taken seriously. David should be remembered as a warrior for justice. So I certainly looked up to David a great deal. He took me under his wing when I first was elected to the school board in Santa Monica and was just a great friend and mentor to me. He's been a wonderful leader in our community, and it's a real loss, not only to Santa Monica, but the broader social justice community and all those who stand and fight for justice and civil rights in our country. So I ask that the Senate adjourn in the memory of David Finkel.
Thank you, Senator Allen. Please bring Mr. Finkel's name forward so that he may be properly memorialized to the Senate desk. Senator Glazer.
Thank you, Mr. President, members. Senator Leno and I rise to adjourn in the memory of a Pleasanton native and a San Francisco resident, Kate Steinle, who was fatally shot last week while walking with her father at Pier 14 in San Francisco. Kate, who was just 32 years old, grew up in Pleasanton, graduated from Amador Valley High School. She went on to graduate from Cal Poly and to travel the world. She returned to the Bay Area to work for a medical technology company in San Francisco. According to Kate's brother, Brad, on a website that he set up to honor her, he said that, quote, Kate had a special soul, a kind and giving heart, the most contagious laugh I've ever heard, and a smile I've ever seen. Kate loved to laugh, travel, spend time with friends, and most of all, loved her family. Kate's friends remember her as a brave and empathetic woman who was as fearless in her adventures as she was in her everyday life. Kate is survived by her parents, Jim Steinle and Liz Sullivan of Pleasanton, and her brother, Brad Steinle. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and friends of Kate as they mourn her loss and celebrate her life at a memorial service today at Casa Real in Pleasanton. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Leno, on this item.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, I don't know that I can add much to the heartfelt articulation of Senator Glazer. Another tragic murder, senseless violence. But let us also remember, as we remember Kate's young life, all of the grieving family and friends, victims of violent crime, who suffer in silence, often forgotten, without the attention of daily headlines. It reminds us that our work to sustain safer communities is never complete. May her soul rest in peace, and may her family know that our hearts are with them.
Thank you, Senator Glazer. Senator Leno, please send her family our deepest condolences. On behalf of the Senate, Senator Stone.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I rise today to adjourn in the memory of Barbara Ann Roberts Keyes Stewart. Born on August 27, 1941, Barbara passed away on June 26th and leaves behind her loving husband, David Stewart, her children, Keisha, who also serves as the clerk of the board of the Riverside County Board of Supervisors, and her brother, Milton, her mother, Hazel, her sister, Michelle, her stepsister, Sylvia, and many other relatives who deeply loved her. Her daughter, Keisha, was, again, my clerk of the board when I served on the Board of Supervisors in Riverside County, and Keisha always spoke fondly and lovingly about her mother. Barbara graduated from Poly High School in 1957 and from Southwestern University in 1980. After living around the world with her former husband, Milton, Barbara moved back to California and became a social worker with Riverside and San Bernardino counties. She also worked for the Red Cross in the Inland Empire Center, where she did what she loved most, helping people. Barbara will be greatly missed by those that knew her. She was a woman who lived to serve, and she will be forever remembered by those she helped and those that she inspired to be greater than themselves. Thank you for letting me adjourn in the Senate today in the memory of Barbara Ann Robert Keyes Stewart. May she rest in peace.
Thank you, Senator Stone. Please bring her name forward so that she may be properly memorialized on the Senate desk. Members, any additional adjourn and memories for today? If there's no other business, Senator DeLeon, the desk is clear.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, colleagues. I hope you have a wonderful, productive 4 days with your constituents, with your family, with your loved ones. We will re-adjourn session here Monday at 12 p.m. We want to work concurrently with our colleagues on the other side as they move forward with their policy measures. Our Senate third reading on the Assembly side. Obviously, next week will be our last week before we go on break and go back to our constituents for 4 weeks. I do want to make one quick announcement. I do want to recognize a wonderful 3 decades plus 2 years, 32 years of a very loving marriage. It is the 32nd wedding anniversary of none other than Senator Jim Bell and Pat Bell, who will be celebrating tonight. 32 years. 32 years that wonderful Pat Bell has had to put up with, you know. So we will recognize her for courage and determination in the near future as well, too. So with that, congratulations, you know, Senator. Have a wonderful celebratory anniversary tonight. With that, colleagues, farewell.
Thank you. Congratulations, Senator Bell. The Senate will be in recess until 3:30, at which time the adjournment motion will be made. We will reconvene, members, Monday at noon.